Just reminds me, I think I remember that.
You're good, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. So I'd like to welcome everyone to our meeting tonight, Tuesday, April 12th. I'll ask first if there's any disclosure of pecuniary interest.
No,
Okay, thank you. We are very limited in staff reports tonight because Dan's away. John Paul has been working strictly on the planning and building and whatever, and Will just got back from a fire. Tom, could you see the smoke?
no, but I smelled it this morning. And did you have a Mark III running?
Yes, sir.
I could hear you strangling and I knew the Mark III sound.
Good ear.
Got a good tone for that. So staff reports and everything else is in this that we'll be looking at tonight. So we can go right to committee reports.
Oh, okay. We did have a recreation committee meeting on April the 4th. As you know, we did cancel the paint night. We didn't have enough interest in it. The committee worked on the Easter egg hunt, Easter party for the children. I think they have 24 registered. The kids soccer, we discussed that, and the size of the fields that we would have for the different age groups. And there's a lot of interest in it. That's going to go over really well. Then we discussed the playground, the new playground equipment we're having. So we're going to meet before our next meeting in May to get a better look at where we want to lay out the playground equipment. You may want to be there too.
Sure.
Because I think more heads that can figure out where it should be, especially if we're going to have an ongoing soccer fields. We don't want a playground equipment right in the middle of the playground. We talked about having a movie night mid-August or in September. The latest bottle drive update, I think from the start, we so far got $1,150. And our next meeting will be May 2nd. Then we had a museum board meeting on April the 6th. We discussed what we would have this summer, including our pie day. We're going to go back to that in July. We're going to have grand opening. We're going to be open for the season on Saturday, May 21st. And we will have, because it's been slow for COVID, we'll have another grand opening with cupcakes and lemonade. We'll do some advertising for that. We went over the long, I think it's a 10-year strategic plan for what we would like in the building, including new windows, doors. Somebody did mention at one point just taking down all of the outbuildings and putting one building, which seems to make more sense. They're old, they're not insulated, there's no heating in any of them. You know, the one was never meant to have displays. Something to look at, but it would be long-term and try to raise money for that. And I think that's pretty much everything. And we will be, we're waiting for to hear from students. We have to hire new students.
Okay,
That's it for me.
okay. Any questions for Councillor Moore? Councillor Marchant?
Nothing to report. I'm still waiting to hear on the annual meeting for the vet committee. Nothing. And then I have a meeting later this month for the source water protection.
Okay, thank you. And Councillor Kirky?
I don't know if we went over these minutes for March 28th for the library. But we got our audited statements and we are showing a surplus, and it looks like our budget for this year is going to balance as well. That's a 1% increase. I think we discussed that one already. On the services update, they'll be open to the public at 100% capacity. And computers available to the public on a 1 hour limit now. Life lab services are going to continue, and all current events returned to in-person. A few are now in hybrid mode, like some of the stuff is zoomed in and like that. But everything else is coming back online. We're still doing a little bit of reduced hours because of manpower issues. And I'm not sure if I mentioned last time we got the Trillium Resilience Grant. I can't remember. Anyway, that's about all I have. Our next.
Yeah, you did mention
Sorry?
it last time. You did mention the Trillium Resilience Grant. And you said. they were
Oh,
going
okay. All right.
to Gazebo with that money, is that what it's for?
Yeah, that's going to be going for some outdoor, like the gazebo, and some seating capacity outside, as well as some new chairs and stuff for inside. And then we also, at our last meeting, we discussed succession planning, where they tried to get a commitment from everybody for the next 4 years, but that hinges on a lot. So anyway, I did say that I would commit to 4 years if all the stars lined up. So anyway, so that's where we're at with that. That's all I have from the library. My head's still foggy, so.
Okay, not a problem, and I'm just glad that you're able to be with us tonight. We had an East Home Building Committee, and this is for the $5.2 million grant that we have. Roofing will start in May. It'll start on the south wing, then move to the front of the building. And then in the second week of May, they're hoping to build the roof platform that they're going to put the 3 huge air exchangers on. And one wing will take 50 days to roof, 60 days and 70 days with some overlap. And unfortunately, these 3 big roof units now have a delivery date of 33 weeks, which means they'll come in around Christmas. They can't work in the roof in the winter time. So of course, that will be delayed till the 1st of April next year before they do it. So we'll have to keep the old system running for an extra 6 months. The grant is still good though. And of course, the question is why? And they pointed out that every school and long-term care home have also ordered the same products. So, and that's province-wide. And we also had another meeting. We had to redo the vaccination policy because the government mandate ended March 15th. So the government has no vaccination policy, but we still have to have something at East Home, because if not, everybody will get sick. So we had to come up with that. The other thing, the Sturgeon Nipissing French River Water Association, I don't know if John Paul's been checking, but the water in the lake has risen. I have to do it in inches, 10 inches in the last 7 days. And as of today at 2 o'clock, there's a flood advisory for Nipissing, Perry Sound. And because of that, they're going to increase outflow at the dams, but they still hope to increase levels in the lake. And in the south of the region, they're suggesting 30 to 40 millimeters of rain in the next 24 hours. And in the north, 35 to 50 millimeters. And this will change on Saturday to snow flurries. So this flood advisory is on until next Tuesday. So it should be an interesting, and it always seems to happen around Easter, but it should be an interesting 4 to 5 days to see how much the lake actually comes up, because the one year when they messed up, it came up 16 inches in 5 days. And we had flood, so we'll see. Now the dams are all newer, they're electronic, they don't have to wait till they don't have to pay overtime. They can just push a button and the dam will open. So hopefully they'll avoid any such problems this time, but we'll know on Tuesday. So that's all I had to report, and we'll move on to the minutes. So I need a mover and a seconder to do the minutes, and I've got Liz and somebody else. Thank you, Steve.
Steve.
So it's number R 2022-80, moved by Liz, seconded by Steve, that the minutes of the council meeting held March 29, 2022 be adopted as published. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes,
Thank you both. Carried. And I was remiss in saying Councillor Scott is in Toronto at the Good Roads Conference. So that's why he is not with us tonight. Next, this is a quotation from Gus North Bay for the supply and installation of a building for the telecommunications tower. So there has to be a building associated with it. We did go out with some quotes. Two different companies would only supply the materials, one for 7,000, the other 7,600. This company will not only supply the material, but will build the structure. So it was $87.50 plus applicable taxes. And that's for the building that goes with the telecommunication tower in Commanda. Is that right, Will?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So I need a mover and a seconder, and that's, of course, in the budget, and it was in the capital forecast as well.
I'll move that.
Okay, Councillor Kirky. And the seconder,
Yes, Tom.
thank you, Councillor Marchant. So it's number R 2022-81, moved by Councillor Kirky, seconded by Councillor Marchant, that we accept the quotation received from Gus North Bay for the supply and installation of a building for the telecommunications tower. Cost is $8,750 plus applicable taxes. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes,
Steve? Thank you, carried. Every year we have to have a contract with North Bay, or we don't have to, but we do with, they're the nearest household hazardous waste program. So we will just sign that for another year with the city of North Bay. And it seems to have worked well in the past. Anytime I've gone up there,
Does look very well.
they seem to do a good job. So,
Yes.
okay, so mover and seconder, please. So Tom Marchant,
Yes.
thank you. And the seconder, Councillor Moore. So it's number R 2022-82, moved by Councillor Marchant, seconded by Councillor Moore. Could we accept the invitation from the city of North Bay for participation in their household hazardous waste program for 2022? All in favor?
Yes.
yes,
Thank you.
We're certainly very fortunate to have the ability to do it.
We are indeed. So it's good that they invite us to do that. The next one on your agenda is a resignation from Carrie Kloiber from the Township of Nipissing Rec Committee and Museum Board. So I need a mover and a seconder to accept her resignation. Okay, Counselor Moore,
I'll second that.
Counselor Kirky, thank you. So it's number R 2022-83, moved by Counselor Moore, seconded by Counselor Kirky, that we accept the resignation, Carrie Kloiber from the Township of Nipissing Rec Committee and the Nipissing Township Museum Board. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes,
Thank you. Just sign this. Okay, next one. The next is a request for proposal for engineering services for the roadway bridge inspections. Now, I believe these have to be done every 2 years. And it just,
Previously, ACOM was our contractor for
Right.
other things, so they just did it. So we haven't done an RFP for this service either.
so this will be a new one, and everything there is noted. The ones, the culverts, the bridges. And so it'll just be an RFP going out. So I need a mover and a seconder, please.
Yes.
I'll move it.
Tom.
Thank you, Councilor Marchant.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councilor Kirky. So it's number R 2022-84, moved by Councilor Marchant, seconded by Councilor Kirky, that we authorize the circulation of a request for proposal for engineering services for roadway bridge inspections. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes,
Thank you, carried. Okay, the next one is correspondence. There's quite a bit of it. A number of these, okay, the first one is the Nipissing Museum Board minutes, and Councilor Moore already did an excellent job explaining that, so we'll move on. Letter from the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing, an update to remaining COVID measures. That is an information item, and it's mainly to do with temporary health buildings and patios, neither of which we have. But it's good to know that they will have them, can still have them in the cities. The next one, number 3, is a news release from the North Bay Parry Sound District Health Unit. And they're talking about climate change and how it affects your health. And it goes over what the health unit does in this one for us. We are also making changes regarding climate change to our fire policies, roads, salts, hills, and wildland fires. So that information goes with what we're doing already. The other news release was Public Health Week and what public health does for us, and it's all there as well. We've got, and Steve went over the library minutes, and we have a couple of them there. The next one is from Halton Hills, new gravel extraction licensing applications. Again, this is still done, and if you notice this, when you went through it, there is the OSSGA claims and then the RGMC statements. So it's still a hot button item, and I know the provincial government is looking into this. I know I'm not qualified to make a judgment on that. I'm hoping our provincial government does, but if any of you have any comments on the licensing applications, we'd be glad to hear them.
There,
Yes, Tom?
there is quite a procedure for it and environmental assessments on each one, so I think it's up to the provincial government.
I agree. So we'll move on to number 6, getting Ontario connected. This is just what AMO has come out with and guaranteeing connectivity for all of us by 2025. And I sincerely hope they're able to do that. And again, an information for us. And I'm sure more will
Is that-
come up. Yes, Steve?
Sorry, isn't there going to be a webinar on this coming up anyway?
Yes.
There is indeed.
Yeah.
So we've got it here in hard copy, but you're gonna get, I'm sure, more out of the webinar. And I've got it written down, but I'm not sure. It's on my calendar someplace. Next one, number 8, Fort Erie, Ontario, Legislative Services, Climate Change Action. And again, pretty hefty here. It also goes to the Right Honorable Justin Trudeau. The question is on the federal government's climate strategy. From my perspective, I think we stay out of a federal initiative, because the next thing we're going to get into is how do we feel about the carbon tax? If you read this, we need to be taxed more, we need more initiatives, and I don't feel that we need to do that, especially as of the other day when I saw the price of the pumps go up. So I might suggest that we leave this to the feds and the provincial government, because I personally am not qualified to discuss carbon tax and global warming. Are we okay with that as an information item?
Yes.
Yes, none of us are really qualified on that level of thing, the municipality.
I most certainly am not. The next
And
one,
I can't publicize my opinion on that one.
okay. So the next one is about NICO and its Creative Futures Development and its housing in Nipissing East and East Perry Sound District. We do participate. We have information about the services they have, and if anybody comes to the office, we give them this information and they can contact the North Bay office and go from there. And it just shows where some of their investments are right now. And the next one, number 10, was on Canadian Safe Boating Council and the Wear Your Life Jacket initiative. And we do participate in all of these, whether it be seat belts, boating initiatives. We do hand out information, and we will post information at the docks, and we have information at the office. And again, excellent information. And I guess we should all wear our life jackets and not be pig-headed and stubborn and whatever. So take that as a personal reminder. Get it out from under the seat of the boat. Finally, the last one, and I'm sorry Liz didn't get it, but this is the South Shore Rescue Snowmobile Club. Mayor and council we are in full agreement of the concerns in your letter of March 18th. And it goes over barriers between the roads and whatever. They are working with us. Dan is discussing this with the club. They said they recognize our issues, and at the end, they mentioned about the cemetery and the fencing, but we're going to do something, as Steve mentioned, more permanent in the future. And they're suggesting wood snow fencing, and they have said if you would like to have a meeting to discuss further, please let me know when and where, so, or where and when. So they did respond, they are interested, and we thank them for that. And hopefully snowmobile season's over for this year. I certainly hope so. So next we'll go, we need a mover and a seconder for the correspondence. Counselor Moore will move it.
Yes,
Thank you, Counselor Marchant. So it's number R 2022-85, moved by Counselor Moore, seconded by Counselor Marchant, that we accept the correspondence as presented. All in favor?
yes,
Yes,
Carried. The next one, statements of accounts, and it was updated as more information becomes available. Does anybody have any questions about anything on the statement of accounts?
we have two bills here for professional development. I was just curious as to what that was about.
On which one?
That would be on probably page 1.
April 11?
Pardon me?
One was 808.99.
808 and 2292.
on page 6.
Oh, is that page 6?
Yeah, the 2292.70.
Yeah. Any idea?
Well, two of them are going to be for the rooms for AMO. And two of
Oh, I
them are
see.
going to be for the rooms for Good Roads. And also for the registration for Good Roads. And
All
also
right.
up for an information privacy training on MPIPA for municipal staff in the office. There's a few
Oh,
different-
okay. All right. I was just curious because there's two listings here.
We do them per department, so there's council, there's administration and public works, and everybody has professional development.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm good.
Was there anything else?
The property assessment would be impacting.
Yes, that's our second quarter payment to Impact.
Yes,
They get their money.
yes.
Yeah, 14,000.
I think I'll become an auditor though.
I want to be a consultant, but anyway, we'll move on. I need a mover and a seconder for the statement of accounts.
I'll move it.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Liz will third it.
We may
Well.
want to start third and fourth from the accounts.
Yeah, so it's number R 2022-86, moved by Counselor Kirkie, seconded by Counselor Marchant. The statement of accounts dated March 31st, April 4th, April 8th, and April 11th, 2022, totaling $259,549.26 be approved. All in favor?
Yes,
Yes.
Thank you. Carrie. Okay, now before, it's a short meeting tonight because, again, short counselors, sick counselors, short staff. We didn't think we are going to have Will tonight either, but evidently all is good. I just want to remind you that our next meeting starts at, the next one's a trailer bylaw meeting.
yes.
Starts at, I was gonna say 5 o'clock.
5:30, or no,
No,
I'm pretty sure I wrote down 5:30.
at 5:30 to 6:30, I believe is what we put down.
right, 5:30 to
Yeah.
6:30 perhaps, and then The regular meeting will be at 6:30 and that's where we will hopefully make a decision on the trailers. And that would be in time for people to react by trailer season, which is coming up incredibly quickly. And then we will have, hopefully everybody will be here, so we'll have a long night that night.
Yes.
Yep, I'm sure
Get
indeed.
her, get her done.
Yep, I'd like it to be done that night if we could. So in that case, we have our confirming bylaw for this meeting. So I need a mover and a seconder, Councillor Moore.
I'll second it.
And thank you, Councillor Kirk. So it's number R 2022-87, moved by Councillor Moore, seconded by Councillor Kirky, that we pass bylaw number 2022-22, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council at its meeting held on April 12th, 2022, read the first, second, and third time, and passed this 12th day of April, 2022. All in favor?
Yes,
Thank you.
It is 5:30 to 6:30. I just confirmed.
Okay. Thoughts?
Remember, because we wondered if John Paul might have some planning activities.
Just should,
That's right.
that was the condensed. And finally, the adjourning bylaw, and then again, reminder, the next meeting is April 26th, 2 weeks from today. So a mover and seconder, please.
yes.
Councillor Martin, thank you. The rest you want to stay? Okay, thank you, Councillor Moore. I don't know if I can sign on those or not, but anyway, it's number R 2022-88. Moved by Councillor Martin, seconded by Councillor Moore, that the meeting be adjourned at 7:03 PM. Next regular meeting to be held April 26th, 2022. All in favor?
Yes,
Yes,
Carried. And before I let you go, Councillor Marchant, I've got two things that you may be interested in. I've read them. One is farm and food care, and the other is the newsletter from the Ontario Federation of Agriculture. I've read them. Are you interested?
I get them online.
Okay. Yeah,
Thank
I have to get the hard copy, so
Yeah.
good. We should be good then. So
Thank you.
thank you all for coming, and good luck on your endeavors, and